Live, local, and talking about the teams that matter to you. This is Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. Brought to you by McMahon's Best One Tire and Auto Care.
Good morning and welcome to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. Over there, that's DC Hendrix. Over here, I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts until the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. And DC Hendrix, just before we came on the air, started dancing just a little bit.
Yeah, feeling pretty good today.
The tunes is what we used to say when I was a kid.
Yeah, I'm feeling pretty good today, a little bit more awake than last week. Last week, I don't know. I think last week was just a longer week for me. This week wasn't that bad.
I was still coming off that, whatever that has been, that hung around for about 3 weeks, but feeling chipper.
Yeah, there we go.
So,
I know you were kind of out of it last week too. We both came in here stumbling, looking like we just woke up. So I think we both are in a much better
better place. Yeah. Yes, indeed. Yeah. Well, welcome into Talkin Sports. As we said, as always, powered by McMahon's Best One. Great show lined up for you today. We're going to be talking with Logan Wiening, the proprietor, the issue, the mindset behind the Old Fort Baseball Company. And he also is the organizer of last, I believe, late June, early July. We'll find out from him. The vintage baseball game that took place at Lawton Park on a Saturday afternoon. After a rainy Saturday morning, they adjusted, they adapted, and what a great time that was. And guess what? It's going to happen again. So we're going to talk to Logan about that as well and how you can be involved in it. And it's very reasonable. It's free. So we're going to talk to Logan a little bit later on in the show here after the first break, in fact. Then, bottom of the hour, we'll be talking with Mike McCaffrey, athletic director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar chat. And he's got some news from, the national level. These St. Francis women of Jeremy Henney will be going against number 12 Marion today in the Crossroads League semis. So we'll talk to Mr. McCaffrey about that. And then we will give Shane Albahrani a call this morning. Probably, I don't know if we'll wake him up or not. But we're going to talk to him about that Comet victory over the Indy Fuel last night, 7-2, in front of 8,900 screaming fans. So a lot to talk about, a lot to get done. We had basketball last night that ended the regular season for the boys. And, of course, state championship basketball is today or in tonight. Norwell plays Greensburg in the 3A state title game. You can hear that right here on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM. And then in Class 4A, Warsaw meets Lawrence North, and that will take place approximately 8 o'clock after the Norwell game has concluded. So once the girls' state championship is decided, then it's time for the boys, and Hoosier Hysteria continues. So should be an interesting few weeks here in March. PFW will play at Cleveland State today at 4 o'clock. That game will be shown on ESPN2. But, watch the game, but then tune to 1380 to get the audio. And that way you can get the PFW slant on things as well. So, just something to think about there. Let's go to the high school basketball scoreboard from last night. And taking a look at things, it was the Homestead Spartans picking up their 19th win of the season with a 62-40 victory over Norwell. It was Columbia City over Concordia, 63-48. Snyder is 79-73 winner over Marion. Trell 23 points for the Panthers. It was Bishop Luers over Carroll, 70-48. East Noble, 57. Wawasee, 43. Kokomo, 65-53 over Huntington North. It was Northridge Downing DeKalb, 52-31. Jay County, a 72-46 winner over the Belmont Braves. Lakeland, 45. Angola, 42. Those Garrett Railroaders keep winning. They beat West Noble 70-60. It was Cherubusco 55, Eastside 36, Fairfield 45, Central Noble 33. Prairie Heights gets a 65-44 victory over Hamilton. Concord 56, Westview 45, and it was Bethany Christian 40-35 over Fremont. Adams Central from the ACAC gets a 74-53 win over Lakewood Park. South Adams loses to Eastbrook 49-33. Cowan 10 points better than Southern Wells 71-61. And Southwood a 61-40 winner over the Bluffton Tigers. And those are the boys' scores that we have from last night. As I mentioned to you at the top of the show, the Fort Wayne Komets got the weekend started correctly with a 7-2 win over the Indy Fuel at the Coliseum in front of 8,920 fans. Now the K's will host Kalamazoo tonight in a 7:30 face-off. Anthony Petrozelli and Brandon McManus both had 2 goals for the Komets in that victory, and Brett Brochu was between the pipes for that contest as well. So the Indiana Pacers were beaten by the Miami Heat last night, 125-120. But Pascal Siakam went off for 36 points last night for the Pacers. So and Purdue erases that 4-game losing streak by beating UCLA. Did you see this coming?
I did not.
Because it was a 76-66 win for the Boilers. Trey Kaufman ran 29 points. Braden Smith, 23 for the Boilers. And it's interesting because in the losing streak, I don't want to say fingers were pointed, but they were somewhat chastised by the coach of the Purdue Boilermakers, Mr. Matt Painter, and indicating that, they're the leaders of the team and need to step it up and do it every night. And they responded.
Yeah.
So
big nights from Trey Kaufman, and Braden Smith had a nice game last night as well.
52 points between them.
Yeah.
Fletcher Lawyer had 11. Caleb First started once again for the Boilers as well from the local side of things. So congratulations to the Purdue Boilermakers for that victory last night. And other things going on. Let's take a look at what happened today, March 1st, in Fort Wayne sports history, the book by Blake Sebring, who accounts for, every day in sports history in the Fort Wayne area. And on this date, March 1st, in 1958, Southside and Central play what many say is the greatest high school basketball game in Fort Wayne history. The greatest. And I've only heard, because I was still a few months from, entering this world. But it says the game pitted the number 1 ranked Southside against number 3 Central in the 1958 sectional semifinal. It also matched 2 Hall of Fame coaches, 3 Mr. Basketballs, and 7 Indiana All-Stars. Okay, get this. It was played before 9,418 at Memorial Coliseum in an atmosphere so intense, DC, that a number of people fainted. Fainted.
Wow.
So, when was the last time you heard about people fainting?
I almost fainted just from you saying Southside team that was number 1. It's been.
Oh yeah.
I'm allowed to do that in case someone's. I'm allowed. I'm allowed.
You're an alum.
I'm an alum. I'm allowed to do that.
Yeah.
I had to poke a little fun, but as soon as you said number 1 Southside, I almost fainted. So
Yeah, and of course this game had to have gone to overtime, and the winner then went on to easily win the state title.
Wow.
But my goodness. Now the first time Southside and Central played that season, January 15th, a record crowd of 9,012 crammed into the Coliseum on a Wednesday, trailing by 10 at halftime. Number 8 Southside rallied to beat number 4 Central 72-63, and then climbed to the top of the polls the next week. So, I would have to say, when people faint, that's
crazy. That's next level.
That's some heady stuff.
That's also so long ago when people actually went to games and supported the schools.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I guess we get around that for Komets.
There was 89-20 there last night. So
definitely not like that for high school anymore.
So, oh my gosh, I remember the Marion Northrop games. The one that I think it might have been in '84, if I'm not mistaken. But Jay Edwards, Lyndon Jones, all those guys, and that was when Northrop got beat in the final seconds, free throws with no time remaining on the clock. Anyway, but also on this day in Fort Wayne sports history in 1986, Northrop wins the girls basketball state title, and there were some outstanding girls basketball players that played for the Northrop Lady Bruins over the years. And my goodness, Lori Minerding comes to mind, and Leslie Johnson were those that were known all over the Midwest for everything they did. So anyway, that is your entry in Fort Wayne sports history. Blake Sebring's book. Blake Sebring, of course, a friend of the show and a noted author of both sports related and other things, community related. Has some great pieces on things around Fort Wayne as well. Betty Stein, if you ever read any of her columns in the newspaper or any of her writings, just a tremendous person. So anyway, Blake Sebring and his book, Fort Wayne Sports History, is one I hang on to at all times. So, tell you what, before we go to break, I want to tell you about my friends at Culligan, of course, we have a water softener in our home. We recently were put on city water, but we kept the softener and we keep it running because even though the Fort Wayne city water is wonderful, it's great, I still want the zero hardness. I want the soft water in our home because once again, we have the waterborne appliances, the hot water heater, the dishwasher, the washing machine. And, in fact, if you have to price any of those out, quite an investment in your home to replace one of those appliances. Hey, put the good water through there. Put the soft water through those appliances. Call Culligan today and get your water checked. Get your water checked. If you don't have a softener, still have it checked. See if there's any recommendations. If you do have a softener, just make sure it's working. They also have the inspection for $29.95. Give Culligan a call today, 484-8668. That's 484-8668. Give your people Culligan water. We're going to go ahead, step out, take a break, and then when we come back, we're going to be talking with Logan Wiening of the Old Fort Baseball Company. We're going to do that when we return. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM.
How do you thank the people that add so much to our lives? How do you celebrate a community that brings out the best in all of us? You give back. In 2022, McMahon's Best One gave more than $100,000 to local organizations that are always there to lift us up, to listen, to strengthen us, every one of us. Throughout the year, McMahon's Best One will continue to give back to the community that has given.
We're not antisocial, so no need to be shy. Interact with 1380 The Fan on social media at 1380 The Fan on Twitter/X, Facebook.com/1380 The Fan, or on the gram at Instagram.com/1380 The Fan. Plus, go to 1380thefan.com for Indiana Sports Beat and Brett Rump's social media info and start the conversation today. Only on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan at 100.9 FM.
When I started DuPont Family Dentistry here in Fort Wayne 25 years ago, I never imagined the incredible journey it would take me on. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Deal. Over my career, I have been privileged with helping patients restore confidence in their smiles. We not only see smile transformations, we see lives transformed. And along the way, we have also built some great relationships. However, as time went on, I noticed a growing need, one that just wasn't being fully met when it came to dentures and our denture patients. They needed better. That's why I'm so excited to introduce New Hope Digital Dentures, a dental practice dedicated to creating the most comfortable, best fitting, and affordable dentures possible. Our technology, our team, and our in-house 3D dental lab have revolutionized the way dentures are made. If you are ready to upgrade to new, better fitting dentures or are ready for a smile that restores your confidence, give us a call today at 260-247-6300. We are located right next to DuPont Family Dentistry. That's 260-247-6300. Let us help you discover what a new smile can do for you.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Welcome to the A to Z savings event at AutoZone.
Yeah, happy to be here. Can I get some rotors?
Would you like brake pads with that?
How much are the brake pads?
Free with the rotors.
Free. Really?
Really, free.
Okay, I also need some oil.
Would you like an oil filter with that?
Yeah, how much is that?
Free with 5 quarts of oil.
Free? Really?
Really, free. It's part of the A to Z savings event.
You might as well call it A to free.
At AutoZone.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of homeownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making homeownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Attention homeowners, are you tired of paying too much on your energy bills? Over 90% of homes likely need more insulation. It's time you discovered Koala Insulation, a premier insulation contractor. Koala's team can give you a free insulation evaluation. There's no obligation. It's one of the best home improvement returns on investments you can make. And then you can start saving money for years to come. So be sure to book your appointment for a free insulation evaluation online at koalainsulation.com.
Now back to Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
I'll let this play a little bit. This is one of my favorite albums of all time. Then Lizzie Jailbreak. Boys are back in town. Whew. Anyway, back to sports. Okay. Welcome back to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. That's DC Hendrix. I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts until the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. If you'd like to be part of the show, you can do so via the text line at 260-447-8500. That's 260-447-8500. And let us know what's on your mind. And real quick, last night I was at the Schaefer Center on the campus of Indiana Tech. The Indiana Tech women's basketball team, the number 1 seed, was beaten by Cornerstone last night in the semifinals of the WHAC, the Wolverine Hoosier Athletic Conference playoffs, 63-61 in a barn burner. But congratulations. Then honors were bestowed after the game. The WHAC Defensive Player of the Year went to Indiana Tech's Genevieve Decker. The WHAC Player of the Year went to Taylor Covington of the Warriors. And the WHAC Coach of the Year was Jessie Biggs, once again, for her outstanding job in leading that Indiana Tech Warriors program. The Indiana Tech men play today at 3 o'clock. They'll take on Madonna in the semifinals of the WHAC men's version of the tournament. And, that's a 3 o'clock tip. So get on out to Schaefer Center and watch some good local basketball. That's for sure. So let's go to the Talkin Sports phone line, powered by Fire Police City County Federal Credit Union, because waiting patiently on there and listening to me drone on and on is Mr. Logan Wiening. Good morning, Logan.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
I am great this morning, and news came across that the vintage baseball game, well, part 2 now, is going to be taking place in late June, once again at Lawton Park. And number one, thank you for that, because I was able to be there last year, and DC was too, for that matter.
Yep.
And we all had a great time, and there were just so many positives that came out of that. But before we get into the second annual game, tell the listeners a little bit, Logan, about, number one, the Old Fort Baseball Company that you've begun. What now? It's been a few years now, hasn't it?
Yeah, we're into year 4 here, and we're Old Fort Baseball is we're an apparel brand based here in Fort Wayne, but really we're about focusing on and celebrating the history of baseball in Fort Wayne, and some of the other great sports legacy that we have in this community, and really supporting both the history and current and hopefully future baseball aspects here in the community. And this vintage showcase is just another way to do that. We're celebrating the history of the first professional baseball game being played in Fort Wayne, and bringing that into today with playing 1800s, 1860s style baseball here in Fort Wayne as a family event that allows people to come out and kind of bridge that gap between old time baseball and today's game.
Now, and just kind of as an aside, Logan, you have, I believe, a sticker club with the Old Fort Baseball Company. Is that correct?
Yes, we do. I'm actually sitting here in the office working on that before we were talking. Talking about supporting baseball in this community, we do a lot to support baseball in smaller communities and unappreciated baseball communities across the country. So our sticker club, we reach out to different businesses, teams, leagues, organizations across the country that have a unique story to tell with the game of baseball, and we get stickers produced for them, and then it's a $6 a month subscription, and every month you get 4 to 5 stickers of these different organizations. So for the subscriber and the members, it's a fun sticker, cool logos, things like that. But for the organizations, we provide there's a postcard in every month that has QR codes to their websites or their Instagram pages to just bring awareness to what these groups are doing. There's adult rec leagues in Texas that we work with that are very unique to that area. There's town ball teams in Minnesota that are unique to that area. And, really just trying to tell those unique baseball stories from across the country.
Well, what prompted me to ask, Logan, was that DC Hendrix has on his laptop, he's got a sticker that if it's not, it certainly resembles Dick Allen from about 1972 with the Chicago White Sox when their predominant color was red. And just that typical. And that, every time I see that sticker, that takes me right back to the early 70s when, there it is. Oh, my goodness. And back when I was in love with baseball to the nth degree. And it was such a great time to be a baseball fan because of all the Hall of Famers that were playing every single day in the major leagues. My goodness. But, that sticker of Dick Allen is one that always takes me back, and I appreciate that. So that's some cool stuff. But, okay, let's talk about the Vintage Baseball Showcase. And from last year, and I recall, because you allowed me to be part of that, and I appreciate that immensely. But to me, we ended up having to play the game kind of in the grass, in the outfield grass, because of inclement weather in the morning. I mean, heavy rains, and there was no way to get on a dirt infield whatsoever. But you adapted. you, if you will, pivoted, and here we are. But the cool part for me was where we were at Lawton Park, and I probably told you this before as well, that when people came to this game, they just came from all sides to this diamond, and it was almost like a Field of Dreams mentality, that people came with their lawn chairs and their drink mugs and everything, but they were coming to watch a baseball game, and from all directions, and it was so cool. And I thought, this is what it was like in the 1860s when there was a baseball game and people found out about it. They came and they wanted to be part of it. But even the gentlemen playing in the game were, played the part. And, I in fact, a couple of friends of mine played for the Indianapolis team, and they were just beside themselves, elated at the end of the game, just saying, that was probably one of the coolest events I've ever been part of, regardless of sports or not. But that, it was so well organized by you and your staff and everything else that was involved in it. So with me done ranting and rambling, tell us what to expect for the second version of the Vintage Baseball Showcase.
Yeah, I mean, you said it, Jim. We had about the best event I could have hoped for last year, with the incredible attendance that we had, the engagement from the community and the support that we got, and, the team's willingness to, interact with the kids at the game and the fans and all of that. So, really, we're just so excited to be able to bring this back and to do this event again. And I think we're just going to try to grow on what we did in 2024. And, there's not really anything that I looked at when people ask, what would you do different? What would you change? I don't know that there's much to change. I think it's just to keep growing and making it bigger and, adding more elements to make it a more fun and engaging event. We're going to have our food trucks back, and that, and, hopefully do some more giveaways. I would like to include more community organizations to be able to come out, whether they are baseball focused or history focused or things like that, to come out and help, provide some more, whether it's education or just information to the community and engage with the fans that come out to the event. And I think the advantage of this event being free to the community, like you said, fans are coming from everywhere, and we want it to be something that, we put up signs on the corners of the street saying ball game today. So, if you drive by and you go, hey, what's going on here? You can stop by and walk up for a few innings and check it out. And that's what we want, is we want it to be, an easy and accessible event for everyone. We don't want this to be something that is, cost prohibitive or difficult to access. So being right in central downtown and easily accessible. But yeah, hopefully we're just going to keep growing on some of the things we did and get more community involvement. I know I've talked with a Caleb over at World Baseball Academy about potentially having them come out and set up with some information about that great organization here in the community. Looking at some different historical society type things to try to add a little more of the historical element into what we did, and just look for another great event. And hopefully we're not praying against the rain during the morning hours, but we are going to play in the field again like we did. I think the teams liked that, and it ended up working out better and giving it kind of that old time feel.
Oh, it certainly did. Yeah, it was fantastic. And just everything involved. Like I said, I know DC was there, I was there, and we're both baseball fanatics, and came away from that just so. There again, it exceeded our dreams of media. Jumped all over this last year as well. The media came out, and you got some additional exposure that way post game, and of course that prompted people to say, oh my gosh, I missed it. when's it going to happen again? And so, it's one of those cases where, hey, give them what they want, but, here we are. It's June 28th, correct?
Correct. Yep. 2 p.m. June 28th in Lawton Park. So mark your calendars. I know people's summers fill up quick. So we're happy to be able to get the information out early and hope to, keep getting more people out there. And like you said, I talked about the community support. And yeah, the media really did such a great job. I mean, you had me on multiple times, which I appreciate. And, Brett had me on the Sports Rush, and we had, Wayne 15 out in the morning doing live coverage at 6 a.m. in the torrential downpour, to help promote it. And, just so many outlets that really latched onto this and came out and covered it, which, is always what you're hoping for. But knowing that you're putting on something that draws that attention is really cool.
And the admission price is the same as last year?
It is $0. That is the going rate for a ticket.
There we go. Yes, a free couple hours of entertainment and community spirit. And, everybody there was nice and so glad to be there, and so many smiles on faces that were there just to watch. And, I didn't run into anybody that was sour. That's for sure. So,
right. It was great.
Everybody was in a good mood. So, well, Logan, thank you. And believe me, let's keep this going. And whenever there's news to break on this, let me know. And let's get this on the air for you and try to get this and make each year, just a little bit bigger, a little bit better, and should be a lot of fun. And let's start with the weather, hopefully. I don't know who can help us with that, but that would be a great, opportunity to have just a beautiful day in June.
Yes, I appreciate it, Jim.
All right. Well, Logan, thank you so much, and keep us posted.
Yep. Have a good day.
All right. That was Logan Wiening from the Old Fort Baseball Company. And, I got to get in that sticker club, DC.
Yeah, you do. It's I think it's only like $6 a month.
$6 a month, he said, yeah.
And I got plenty. I got a lot on my laptop and a lot that hasn't even been used yet.
Yeah.
Well worth it.
Okay. Well, listen, let's go ahead, step out, take a break, and then when we come back, let's talk to Mike McCaffrey, athletic director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar Chat. A lot to talk about with Mike, and some exciting things coming up. So we'll do that. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM. Have you looked at your auto or homeowner's insurance rate lately? Think it's about time to get a competitive quote? Call the Wise Insurance Agency today at 260-747-5373. Located at 7410 Bluffton Road, Wise Insurance is a local company that's been in business for 25 years. Being an independent agent working with over 15 A-plus rated carriers allows Coach Ron Wise to assess your needs and determine the best option for you to give you maximum coverage with the most affordable premiums. The Wise Insurance Agency also offers motorcycle, RV, and watercraft insurance, as well as renter's insurance, flood, and umbrella policies. Multi-policy discounts are also available, and make sure to ask Ron about the good student discount up to 20%. Let Coach Wise show you the fundamentals of getting the right insurance. Don't put it off. Contact Coach Ron and the Wise Insurance Agency team today at 260-747-5373 or find them online at thewiseinsuranceagency.com.
My brother never checks on Dad, or my sister won't make time to take Mom to the doctor. Are these things you've heard yourself say? This is Tina McIntosh, president of Joy's House and co-host of the Caregiver Crossing radio program. I have a caregiving tip for you. Stay tuned.
Cardon and Associates offers the finest senior living options tailored to your loved one's needs. Reservations are now being accepted for new apartments at Copper Trace in Westfield. Visit cardon.com.
Expressing anger or resentment toward unsupportive siblings can cause unmendable rifts in relationships. Don't try to control everyone else. You can only control yourself. The success of your caregiving journey does not rest on others. So enjoy the time with your loved one. This is your special time with them. More tips like this are available anytime at caregivercrossingradio.org. With new weekly content created by Joy's House and distributed in partnership with Network Indiana, we're an on-air and online support group for Hoosier family caregivers. Hear conversations with experts, access the library of online education, and more at caregivercrossingradio.org.
When I started DuPont Family Dentistry here in Fort Wayne 25 years ago, I never imagined the incredible journey it would take me on. Hi, I'm Dr. Dave Deal. Over my career, I've been privileged with helping patients restore confidence in their smiles. We not only see smile transformations, we see lives transformed. And along the way, we have also built some great relationships. However, as time went on, I noticed a growing need, one that just wasn't being fully met when it came to dentures and our denture patients. They needed better. That's why I'm so excited to introduce New Hope Digital Dentures, a dental practice dedicated to creating the most comfortable, best fitting, and affordable dentures possible. Our technology, our team, and our in-house 3D dental lab have revolutionized the way dentures are made. If you are ready to upgrade to new, better fitting dentures or are ready for a smile that restores your confidence, give us a call today at 260-247-6300. We are located right next to DuPont Family Dentistry. That's 260-247-6300. Let us help you discover what a new smile can do for you.
In the past 4 years, only one independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer in the Midwest has been awarded the Building a Higher Standard Distinguished Dealer Award, Gibson's Heating and Plumbing. From their start over 40 years ago, Gibson's Heating and Plumbing has built their family business to serve your family with the very best team. See it for yourself. When you read their Google reviews, over 2,000 and growing, you can read on their website and experience it for yourself. When you contact Independent American Standard Heating and Air Conditioning Dealer, GibsonsHeating.com. That's GibsonsHeating.com.
Now on My Deals Fort Wayne, you can get 2 certificates to Pizza Subs and BBQ in St. Joe, Indiana for the price of 1. At Pizza Subs and BBQ, they are always cooking up something special. They serve an array of delectable hot subs, pasta bowls, wings, and irresistible BBQ. They make their own pizza sauce in-house, as well as a signature pulled pork, herb roasted chicken, and a house-made St. Joe spicy sauce. Go to MyDealsFortWayne.com to purchase your deal.
Donors choose. Support a classroom.
Build a future.
Did you know that every year, public school teachers spend nearly $500 of their own money for student supplies? Let's do the math. That comes out to over $1.2 billion a year. And that's just not right. At Donors Choose, we want students and teachers to have the tools they need for a great education. And now, more than ever, they need your help. Here's what you can do. Go to DonorsChoose.org and choose from teachers' requests that support reading, math, science, history, and more. Once a request is funded, we'll take care of shipping everything directly to the teacher. It's that easy. You'll receive thank you letters and photos from students and teachers and a report of how every dollar was spent. Teachers' needs have never been greater. Learn more at DonorsChoose.org.
Donors choose. Support a classroom.
Build a future.
Now back to Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Should I let this play a little bit for our guests?
Any other time I would, but we're running a little bit behind.
Okay, yes. Okay, welcome back to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. Along with DC Hendrix, I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in as we're talking local sports of all sorts till the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. Our text line is always open at 260-447-8500. That's 260-447-8500. And let's go to the Talkin Sports phone line, powered by Fire, Police, City, County, Federal Credit Union, because on there patiently waiting is University of St. Francis Athletic Director Mike McCaffrey. Mike, good morning.
Good morning, Jimmy. How are you, bud?
I am great this morning. Well, it's March, and, it's tournament basketball, it's baseball. What could be better? What could be
big
better?
Day. Big day today for the Cougs.
Yes, it is. Yes. The Cougar women are taking on number 12 Marion at the Hutzel Center in the semifinals of the Crossroads League tournament. And tell us a little bit about how they got there.
Yeah, so came in the 2 seed, played Bethel on Wednesday evening. That was the quarterfinal, so the first round of the conference tournament got by them. Marion took care of business in there, so you've got one hosting, I think, 5, and then 2 hosting 3, so we are the 2 seeds, so we'll host Marion, and I believe Spring Arbor is headed to Indiana Wesleyan to play in the other semifinal match, and then whoever wins the 2 games today will play Tuesday night, either at Indiana Wesleyan or back at Hutzel. If for some reason Indiana Wesleyan falls today, then we could host the conference tournament championship game on Tuesday night or on Wednesday night. But we got to take care of business today. Last time Marion came in, took us overtime, 5-second call, ended up getting us a win by 1. So they're playing great basketball and one of the better teams in the country, obviously with their top 15 ranking. And so yeah, it's going to be a tough game today. But I know, getting to a conference tournament championship game is something that Coach Henny and this squad would love to do. So expect our best effort today, but definitely going to be a good game.
Yes, indeed. Now, from a logistics standpoint, and let's say, not so much from Coach Henny, but for you, what are the challenges, let's say, when you win a semifinal game? Do you already have this mapped out? Because you have to, on short notice, get officials, you have to get staff, you have to get scores table personnel. And, I mean, is that, at this point in the season, is that a little bit easier to do?
Yeah, I mean, most of the main people that we have to worry about staffing is the scorers table. Officials will get assigned from our conference coordinator officials and our assigner. So the officials we're not too worried about. But, yeah, I mean, there is some times where you get to one of these games and you didn't know you were going to host, and maybe your scoreboard guy or your bookkeeper or somebody is not available, and you got to look around and fill in spots. We've been pretty fortunate this year that our guys have been there for a long time, and they kind of know the drill. So it's we should be good. I mean, we've got some stuff we have to adjust to for kind of an opening round coming up here in a couple weeks that we'll figure out. But today we should be good, and then Wednesday, if we host, we should have all of our crew. This is something that they keep on their calendar just in case. And obviously, if we don't, then they get the night off. But they're, like I said, they've been around for a while, so they kind of know how this drill goes, and we've hosted our share of conference tournament games. So everybody's in, logistically not too challenging, just getting the word out there to fans and getting the ticket site set up online and all that kind of stuff. But we'd love the opportunity to do it again on Wednesday, so we'll see.
That's for sure. Now, news came out regarding women's basketball at the national level, the NAIA women's basketball first and second rounds, and the University of St. Francis Cougars are going to be the host of the first two rounds in Fort Wayne. I believe Grace is another host school from the Crossroads. But tell us how that is. Was that a bid process? And if so, what's entailed there to secure one of these?
Yeah, so once the NAIA moved to one division several years ago and made it a 64-team tournament with 16 opening round sites, then the process changed from where you used to just be one of 32 that would go to Branson, Missouri, or go to Sioux City, Iowa, and play in a tournament. So now we've got these kind of opening rounds, which mirrors the rest of what we do in the NAIA. So, yeah, we put in a bid. Anybody who thinks that they might be able to host puts in a bid, and then you kind of wait to see. So we, depending on how successful your team is, because our team is right now ranked in the top 10, and you've got 16 sites that are going to be announced, we felt pretty good going in that we were going to get it, but given that we've never done it before, we weren't 100% sure. Mm-hmm. But no, we put it in, and we were fortunate, and they announced that we're going to be hosting. So 3 other teams will come to Fort Wayne on March 14th and 15th, play 2 games on Friday, and then a championship game on Saturday, and then the winner will go to Sioux City, Iowa for the final 16 of the national tournament. So it's exciting. We've been in opening rounds before. We've had to travel. This will be the first time we've ever been able to host. So no, we're pumped up. It's going to be a lot of coordination, a lot of stuff that our staff and our campus hasn't been through before. We've got to find a local kind of tournament site supervisor is what they call it in the NAI, and I think I've got a lead on a guy that's going to help me out. So I'm excited to maybe bring on a local guy who can help me run this tournament here in town and do it the right way and put on a good show. Oh, best of luck finding somebody good. We're talking this morning with Mike McCaffrey, Athletic Director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar Chat. And tell us a little bit about the spring sports. Yeah, I mean, right now the big one is down in Gainesville, Florida. We're going to go for some All-Americans and some championships today. Our distance medley relay team qualified in the prelims, so they'll be racing in the finals today. Leah Kunstman, who's in the mile, she finished 3rd in the prelims to get her into a final today. And then Joey Rwanda, our new pole vault sensation, he's going to be in the pole vault finals, Gainesville, and watch our track and field team try to come home with some All-Americans. And baseball and softball split yesterday, so they'll turn around and play again today. Softball's down in Tennessee, split with Freed Hardman yesterday, and then they'll play a couple against Lindsey Wilson today. And the baseball team went down to Marion to start the Crossroads League season. Kind of gave one away in the first game and lost at the bottom of the seventh, but then turned around and got the win in the second one. So I'm going to play another couple against them tomorrow, not today because the weather is a little cold today, but it's supposed to warm up tomorrow. So, like I said, busy day today, a lot of stuff to watch, a lot of games to be. I'll be at Hutzel, but I'll be on my phone checking a lot of other scores as well.
There we go. Mike, thank you for joining us as always, and we'll talk to you next Saturday.
Sounds great, Jim. Have a good weekend.
All right, you too. That was Mike McCaffrey, Athletic Director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar Chat. We're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we'll be talking to Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne Komets, in our weekly Komet Chat. We'll do that when we return. You're listening to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One, on 1380 The Fan, 100.9 FM.
These days, it feels like everyone is talking about how the American dream of home ownership has become out of reach for so many of us. Well, Rocket is trying to give us more of a chance to own our homes. They're making home ownership simpler and more accessible to more people, turning renters into owners. Rocket believes that every one of us deserves a shot at the American dream. So, are you ready? Own the dream. Visit rocket.com or call 800-4ROCKET.
Why pay more for prescriptions? Stop overpaying and start saving with SingleCare. It's easy. Find your prescription on singlecare.com. Show the coupon at the pharmacy and start saving. SingleCare works at pharmacies nationwide and is completely free to use, whether you have insurance or not. So the next time you fill a prescription, check SingleCare to make sure you're getting the best price. Take control of your prescription costs. Go to singlecare.com or download the free app today.
Attention homeowners, are you tired of paying too much on your energy bills? Over 90% of homes likely need more insulation. It's time you discovered Koala Insulation, a premier insulation contractor. Koala's team can give you a free insulation evaluation. There's no obligation. It's one of the best home improvement returns on investments you can make. And then you can start saving money for years to come. So be sure to book your appointment for a free insulation evaluation online at koalainsulation.com.
Want to start a business? Need to update your voter registration? Want to learn more about buying or selling cars? Looking for consumer tips for buying a new or used car? Or do you need information about getting financially fit? You can do it all at your Indiana Secretary of State's office. From supporting entrepreneurs to encouraging eligible voters, we're here to help. Visit us online at sos.in.gov or stop by the office. Our doors are open daily at 7 a.m. This message is sponsored by your Indiana Secretary of State's office.
Golf fans, get ready. A brand new show's hitting the airwaves on 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM. It's Golf with Jay Delsing, your weekly insider guide to everything golf. Join former PGA Tour pro Jay Delsing every Saturday morning at 10 as he breaks down the latest tournament, shares tips to improve your game, and interviews some of the biggest names in the sport. Don't miss Golf with Jay Delsing every Saturday mornings at 10 throughout golf season. Only on Fort Wayne Sports Station. Now back to Talkin Sports with Jim Shovlin on Fort Wayne Sports Station, 1380 The Fan and 100.9 FM.
Welcome back to Talkin Sports, powered by McMahon's Best One. That's DC Hendrix. I'm Jim Shovlin. Thanks for tuning in. We're talking local sports of all sorts till 10 o'clock. Right now, let's go to the Talkin Sports phone line, powered by Fire, Police, City, County, Federal Credit Union. Because when we go there, we will find Mr. Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of your Fort Wayne Komets. Shane, good morning, sir.
Good morning, Jimmy.
Well, a big one last night at the Coliseum, and we put a whooping on the Indy Fuel, 7-2.
Yeah, no, that was it was nice to get a big win in front of a huge crowd. That's something that seems to be an issue for the Komets really over the past few years. When you get a full building like that, the Komets have a tendency to lay an egg from time to time. But last night, folks definitely got their money's worth.
No doubt about it. Yeah, you see on some nights you get a full house and a lot of maybe first-time fans coming to a game, and you really want to put on a good show for them. But, yeah, last night, hey, well, they did it. And once again, not too many home dates in the month of March, but they got this one started on the right foot. And when you look at the games from last night. Toledo was beaten. I believe Iowa was beaten in overtime. So the two teams ahead of the Komets in the division both lost, so picking up a couple of points and still having games in hand on both Iowa and Toledo. The Komets are now just 8 points behind the Walleye for first place.
Yeah,
so.
You know what? After the weekend sweep a couple weeks ago, when the Komets got 3 guys suspended before a weekend series with Toledo, and unfortunately the Komets lost both those games and managed to pick up a point. That was pretty much the end of the head-to-heads. We got one more against Toledo head-to-head in April, and really after that point, even I was a little demoralized. I'm like, I don't think we're going to be able to catch these guys because, we had our chance right there. We could have won both of those games, had 3 games in hand, and they would be right for the picking. But, Toledo, they've fallen back a little bit, and Iowa keeps on playing really, really well. So actually, Toledo really, they're reeling right now. So, I think they might be in panic mode or maybe a few weeks away from that because the Heartlanders and the Komets, they just keep creeping up. They're just a point here and there, but they are making progress. So, I think the division still very much is in play.
Well, in a division that's basically this wide open still, despite the Walleye, as you said, starting to reel just a little bit, but that intensity in the regular season then can toughen you up in the postseason as well. Because you have to have meaningful shifts at all times. Can't take a shift off, or you'll find yourself woefully behind, or in another jersey. But it's just one of those things that you'd rather have it like this, and playing for something every single night as a professional hockey player.
Yeah, now that the Komets pretty much have got their non-divisional schedule out of the way, we got 2 left with Wiening. Those are the only 2 non-division games left on the schedule, so everything is a 4-point swing. And, you're playing Indy an awful lot. You're going to play Bloomington quite a bit. So these are 2 teams that are trying to get in the playoffs. They keep going back and forth for the 4th and final playoff spot, so they're certainly going to bring it every night. But the Komets, they've set themselves in a good spot. You got another game at home tonight. Actually, I think, kind of going on the road here for the month of March plays pretty much into our hands because the Komets have been just spectacular on the road. So going on the road for a full month may sound kind of bad, but it really isn't as far as the grand scheme of things, because they'll have a chance to pick up a lot of points. And, you look at the schedule in March. Again, we're going to go to Bloomington next Wednesday for a morning game. We got 3 in Iowa, a couple in Wiening. So, this is going to be a really fun month for the Komets.
Oh, yeah, those 3 in Iowa are going to be pivotal at all times, so it should be very interesting, and hopefully, as you said, they're playing spectacular on the road anyway. So wanted to talk to you about some of the promotional nights that we have, in the month of March. And on the 9th, we have Peanuts Night. Where did that come from?
It's something actually the fans have asked for it.
Really?
It's something that's kind of popped up throughout the league, and a lot of fans say, "Hey, when are the Komets are going to do a Peanuts Night?" And it's already selling really, really well. Actually, every game we only have 3 in the month of March now, so tonight's game actually is pretty close to sold out. I think there's maybe a few tickets up in the upper deck for tonight's game, and I know the 29th, which is Princess Night, also is selling really, really well already, and we're a month out. And then, of course, Peanuts Night, I think, will also be well attended as well. So, Komet fans realize that, we don't have a lot of time here in the month of March, so everyone is trying to get out to the Coliseum.
Well, it should be a lot of fun out at the Coliseum when the Komets are in town. But this is a quirk in the schedule every single year when you have so many things going on an annual basis at the Coliseum that will ensure that the Komets are road warriors in the month of March. So should be a lot of fun. What about last night, of course, Anthony Petrozelli lit the lamp twice, so did Brandon McManus. Jack Dugan, I believe, scored as well, Captain Jack. And what's the status of the roster right now with add deletes?
Ethan Keppen got called up to Bakersfield So, that was a bit of a blow. But the Komets got Zach Jordan in the lineup for the first time last night. He was picked up in trade for Cam Saprika last week, and he played great. So I really didn't see the absence of Ethan Kepin last night because Zach Jordan played so well in his first game. And, of course, the Komets picked up Matt Bowden last week. There's a guy who knows how to win a cup. He's ready. I talked to him Thursday night, and he's taking it slow. He had an injury that he picked up in Worcester that he was actually cleared to play, but the team and everyone has decided to give it a little bit more time. But he is ready to go, and that's the guy. You know what? He's 31 years old. He's a scrappy player. He's been through a lot. He's put his body through everything, and who knows how much he has left in the tank. But I'll tell you what, I know he's got at least 2 more months of playoffs in those legs. And that's when you want Matt Bowden.
And I had a text that came in, on my phone, that says, ask Shane if Turcotte is coming back.
No, Yannick is not coming back. He signed a standard contract with the Chicago Wolves. So if it happens to come to pass that he is released, it probably won't happen. Komets will still hold his right, so he will still have an option to come back to Fort Wayne. But no, he's up in Chicago for the rest of the year.
Well, good for him, bad for us, and the same thing with Kepin. That's hockey. That's minor league hockey. So, Shane, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate it every single Saturday morning, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right. Thanks a lot, Jimmy.
Thank you. That was Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of your Fort Wayne Komets. And, K's out at the Coliseum tonight against Kalamazoo. Get your tickets. As Shane said, it's close to a sellout already. So if you're thinking of going without tickets, go ahead and get that taken care of. That's going to do it for Talkin Sports for a Saturday, March 1st. Many, many thanks to the Old Four Baseball Company's Logan Wiening for joining us this morning. Probably hear some more from him between now and the end of June. And thanks to Mike McCaffrey, athletic director at the University of St. Francis, in our weekly Cougar chat for chiming in and letting us know all things Cougar, and Shane Albahrani, play-by-play voice of the Fort Wayne Komets, in our weekly Komet chat. Thanks to DC Hendrix, as always, for keeping everything so smooth. And thanks to you, the listener, for tuning in each and every Saturday morning. We appreciate that. So, until next week, have a great week, everybody.
Podcasts by Federated Media.